The Nova Scotia Stick Curling Association is happy to present Call the Shot, an introduction to skipping for players new to stick curling.
In stick curling, you are your partner's skip for the ends they are delivering rocks. For players with little experience, skipping can be quite daunting. The goal of this video is to help you understand a simple 5-step process you can use to be an effective skip, and to help you more fully enjoy what has been called chess on ice. By using this simple 5-step process, you can be effective at skipping and more fully enjoy playing the stick game. We break the skipping process down into 5 steps in calling the shot. The first step is to think about the game situation. The second step is to evaluate the rock locations in the house and how they may or may not influence shot selection. The third step is to decide the basic goal of the shot to be called. The fourth step is to decide the shot type to achieve the goal. The fifth is determining the turn, an amount of ice required to make the shot. Step 1. Game situation. Being early in the end, or game, versus later in the end, or game, and the score will often determine the shot choice. In stick curling, takeouts are not allowed until the 4th rock of the end. This is called the 3-rock rule. This rule limits the shot options for the first 3 rocks at the beginning of each end. One thing to keep in mind is whether your team has last rock. Having the last rock means that your team is trying to score multiple points in the end. Step 2. House situation. Think about which rocks you can use to your advantage and which rocks are causing a problem. For example, are there rocks we can draw behind or tap up into the rings? Is there a guard stone in front of the shot stone? Step 3. Shot objective. The third step in calling a curling shot is to ask yourself, what's the goal of this shot? Is the goal of this shot to try to score, offense, or defense, keep the competitor from scoring? Step 4. Shot type. Select the shot type to best achieve the goal. Generally speaking, there are 3 basic shot type options: draw, takeout, and raise. Draws come in 2 basic types: getting a stone into the rings to try and score points, or in front of the rings to guard your rock from your opponent. Takeouts have enough speed, referred to as weight, to remove a competitor's rock from play when hit. 3 common takeout weights are normal, board, and hack. The terms are based on where the removed stone ends up. Hack weight is just enough weight to push an opponent's rock back to where the hacks are. Board weight is enough weight to push a rock back to the backboard. In the case of normal takeout weight, the idea is to push the opponent's rock to a place a foot or 2 past where the board is, if that were possible. Raises come in 2 flavors: tapping your stone back in the rings, or running back a stone with takeout weight in order to remove a competitor's stone from the rings. This is often referred to as a raise takeout or run back. In shot calling, it's important to remember that some shots are more difficult to make than others. This brings us to shot degree of difficulty. In this chart, we see the degree of difficulty of various shots. One of the goals in skipping is to keep the degree of difficulty medium to low for your shots, while trying to leave a high degree of difficulty shot for your competitor. Step 5. Reading and calling ice. The final step is to determine which turn is best to accomplish the goal of the shot and to decide how much will a rock curl in this situation. Where do I place the target broom for the thrower in order to get the rock to the place we want it? Anyone who has played the skip position in any style of curling will tell you that reading the curl of the ice isn't easy. Reading the ice begins with observing where a rock is released by a thrower and where it ends up on the sheet. The most experienced skips will watch every rock thrown by both teams to gather as much information as possible. The rings are a useful gauge to determine the amount of curl of a rock. Across the tee line there are 12 feet of rings. Each ring is 2 feet wide. By using the midway point between the inner edge and outer edge of a ring, you can now segment the rings into 12 1-foot segments across the tee line. Slower moving rocks, draws, generally curl significantly more than faster moving rocks, takeouts. The different weights of rocks greatly influence how much they will curl. Since stick curling is a team game, remember you are not alone. It's common for the person skipping to briefly consult with their partner from time to time as to what may be the best shot to attempt. Let's review the process one last time. The first step is to think about the game situation. The second step is to evaluate the rock locations in the house, and how they may or may not influence shot selection. The third step is to decide the basic goal of the shot to be called. The fourth step is to decide the shot type to achieve the goal. The fifth is determining the turn and amount of ice required to make the shot. By using this simple 5-step process, you can be effective at skipping and more fully enjoy playing the stick game.
The Nova Scotia Stick Curling Association promotes and develops stick curling across the province. We'll see you on the ice.